Okay, Titans Tube, what is up, everybody? We are back for a recap and review of what's kind of been going on in free agency this past week or two here. My name is Justin, and always with me is Caleb.
Hey.
Hello, Caleb. And all right, let's first of all briefly run down the players who will not be receiving Super Bowl rings this next year because they signed contracts not with the Titans.
We discussed a lot of players in our last episode, and many of the moves that happened were what we expected. Kendall Wright signed with the Chicago Bears, so good luck throwing to him, Mike Glennon. Chance Warmack was signed by the Eagles. Valentino Blake to the Giants, so they're really looking to downgrade their secondary. Sean Spence recently signed with the Colts, so he's a traitor. And then Anthony Fasano, can't really get mad at him for going back home to one of his, his former teams, the Miami Dolphins.
Good player.
Good player.
Hopefully we replace you with even better one.
Most of those moves, though, were pretty expected. The Titans were going to let some of those players walk. So that leads into us getting our players re-signed, the ones that we did sign back, which starting with Philip Supernall. So we at least have 2 tight ends on the roster because we do use tight ends a lot. We also re-signed Carl Klug. Thank God. Klug. Massive asset on the defensive line. And we also re-signed Nate Palmer.
Very nice. I mean, Nate Palmer may not look like a big splash signing, but he's a good contributor on special teams, and that was what the theme has been so far in free agency, much to our surprise.
It's funny how J-Rob works, in contrary to what all the fans think he will do. Coming into this offseason with a lot of cap space, Titans Nation, and a lot of talk surrounding Titans Nation thought that we needed to improve at cornerback and receiver. And we threw out a lot of these big players that we could possibly get in our last episode, like Alshon Jeffrey, AJ Bouye, Terrell Pryor, Dante Hightower. But that's just not how J-Rob works.
J-Rob clearly has a different set of priorities from us. The lesser talked about weakness of the team, special teams. Oh, how could we be so blind?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I remember a few games where our special teams just played terrible and looked really suspect. And I feel like J-Rob has clearly taken those issues very seriously, possibly personally. So we went out, and 2 guys we did sign, both from the Raiders, are known to be special teams aces. Darren Bates, who can also play linebacker, who is also a Tennessee native, and the other person, a safety, who has a name straight out of Game of Thrones, Sir Brendan Trewick.
You honor us, Sir Brendan of House Trewick.
Serve us well, and your head will stay on your shoulders. So these 2 players should really help out the coverage team and put a stop to those huge returns and touchdowns we've been giving up on special teams.
Please, Brendan and Darren. On the flip side of special teams, the return game we did address. Last year it featured Mark Mariani, and we have signed a new returner, which is actually it's kind of hilarious to me, Caleb, because I know that you were looking forward to getting an athletic, speedy returner, the next Tyreek Hill. But we re-signed another old possession type of returner in Eric Weems. Welcome in Eric Weems from the Atlanta Falcons. Honestly, in all seriousness, Eric Weems, he brings more to the table than just returning anyway. I mean, he's a good punt coverage man. He can play on both sides of special teams. So just that alone, he brings more value to the team than Mariani did. And if you look at his numbers alone, his return averages are bigger than Mariani's. So it's an upgrade on all accounts. It's okay.
I want to see one punt return go for like 15 yards at least. Is that too much to ask?
I don't know.
So far, anyways, it seems like we've been doing the little things to kind of fine-tune the roster here and there. And a bigger yet still quiet addition that we haven't discussed is from the champion of spending and perennial top 5 picks. Jacksonville Jaguars is we signed Jonathan Cyprien, a safety, and he was a 33rd overall pick by the Jags in 2013 and has been their starting strong safety ever since.
Cyprien is an accomplished tackler. That's kind of what he's known for. In all 4 years of the league, he's registered over 100 plus tackles. Okay. So he's a sure tackler.
So now we have Cersei, Stafford, and Cyprien at the strong safety position. Stafford is currently unsigned, so we'll see what happens there. But we imagine our defense will be using possibly a lot of 3 safety sets this next year. So it's possible we could end up keeping all 3 for some depth.
All right, next, who do I have written here? Next on the list is a big man to play the interior on the defensive line, Mr. Sylvester Williams. We signed him from the Denver Broncos, who had played there the last 4 years. I think Sylvester, I don't know that much about him. He won a Super Bowl in Denver, so he's got that going for him.
Yeah, and I mean, we recently released Al Woods, so we kind of had a need of that position. But yeah, I don't know a lot about him either, but here's his stats. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
How about those stats?
That'd be it.
Nicely done.
But yeah, so anyway, hopefully he'll be just another run stuffer on the line, and hopefully he'll push Austin Johnson, our second-round pick last year, and create some competition. They'll make each other better. Yeah, no one's running on us this year.
No.
Come on.
Come on.
Come at me, bro.
Come on. Come at him, bro. And finally, what we've all been waiting for going into the off-season. Here's my nipples. The biggest signing we've had to this point is two-time Super Bowl champion Patriots cornerback Logan Ryan. This was a huge signing, obviously, because cornerback was a huge need for us. And it's good that we somewhat solidified this position before going into the draft. And, comparing stats, he was pretty much similar to Malcolm Butler last year. So it's a big signing. We could still use a couple more players at that position, but this is a good start.
Takes the pressure off a little bit, so we're not just scrambling for cornerbacks in the draft and just at the end of the free agency period. But yeah, as for Ryan, I know he wasn't highly touted as much as Boye and Gilmore, who received super big contracts with teams that made bigger splashes. But Logan Ryan is still a very good cornerback. He's automatically the best cornerback the Titans have currently right now. And the signing makes sense because, as we know, J-Rob worked as the director of college scouting for the New England Patriots during the time when Ryan was coming out of college. So they have ties there. So this could be the guy that J-Rob was targeting the entire time. And on top of that, he was able to sign Ryan to a cheaper deal as opposed to the bigger blockbuster cornerbacks.
That's huge because let's not forget that we have some young star players currently still on their rookie contracts that are franchise cornerstones, if I do say so myself. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the Lord and Savior Marcus Mariota himself and his Kingsguard, Taylor Lewan and Jack Conklin. These are recent first-round draft picks that when their rookie contracts expire, we're going to have to pay them a ton of money, and they'll be worth it. And this could also even include Kevin Byard or Derrick Henry, depending on how the next couple years pan out.
Yeah, seriously, if Mariota makes a jump in his third year, similar to what he did in his second year, he's going to break the bank whenever his contract expires. And I would pay that man any amount. I would give my life.
I would take a life.
I'm ready. This is for you, Mario. Wait. Let's wait until this contract expires first. Let's wait it out. Let's just see. This is actually one of those good problems to have because it's been a while since we've had to worry about players that we drafted and re-signing them after their rookie contracts expire. It just means we're drafting really well in the first round, so...
Very good point.
Sorry.
I mean, we don't want to end up like the Jacksonville Jaguars who have to acquire players from all the other teams and pay them huge amounts of money because they suck at drafting. Yeah, and I think if things continue to go well and we're winning, Mariota is a guy who I think will make a good decision for the team contract-wise. Like maybe he'll take his payment all in pineapples or hula skirts.
Those were some very... possibly offensive things to say about Hawaiians.
Well, I mean...
Some huge stereotypes. Maybe not all Hawaiians love pineapples, you know?
I think they do.
Ooh.
He likes coconuts. I don't know.
Okay, and briefly, we'll kind of end here talking about the whole Hightower situation because that was big news circulating around the team. A lot of Titans fans thought that we had a real shot at him. And also, Hightower is a Tennessee native. I mean, we saw Anthony Fasano go to the Miami Dolphins. He went back to his home. We signed Darren Bates, a Memphis native. He's now back home. We saw Julius Peppers go from the Packers to the Panthers, back to Carolina. That's where he lives. So what's the deal, Dante? What gives, bro?
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
I mean, they must have some darn good barbecue up in Boston. Making a splash in free agency is always risky, no matter who the player is. I mean, anyone remember Andy Levitre? Or even last year, come on, Brock Osweiler for the Texans? And so I'm kind of glad that we didn't end up dishing out that much money for a guy that doesn't want to play for us.
J-Rob is only in his second year of being a GM. Let's give him a little break that he's not doing everything that we desire. I mean, I'd understand him wanting to play it safe early on in his GMing career, build through the draft, focus on the long term. Let's not kid ourselves in thinking that we could manage this team and understand the business of the NFL better than the GOAT himself.
I mean, in him, do we not trust?
In J-Rob, we trust. Yeah, do we need a sign?
Jay? Well, that completes our review of what we've done so far in the offseason and free agency. So stay tuned as the Titans look to make more moves before the draft, or perhaps remain idle. Wouldn't that be exciting? But either way, we want to hear from you. Comment down below on how you think we've been doing in the offseason so far, or what you thought about us not dishing out the money for Hightower, etc., etc., etc.
How many Super Bowls will we win this year?
It's just risky paying a player who
Win Super Bowls?
Yeah, we don't want to win Super Bowls. And also continuing my thought on Dante Hightower and how we didn't want to pay him in free agency by getting him from the New England Patriots. What?
Just clean it up some. Okay.
The next couple of years pan out like a pan. Like a pan. Always have a gun on hand.
How we'll use a dime package and have 3 safeties on the field.
You can't trust everything you hear in the media. Okay.
I'm probably gonna leave for work soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.